What is up, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another YouTube video. So today, we're going to be talking about how Iansan works. Iansan's kit is actually very interesting. Now, Iansan is a brand new 4-star Electro polearm user, and funny enough, if you saw from the title of the actual, video looking at the first impressions of Iansan from the drip market, yes, Iansan is going to be our electric Bennett replacement. She is going to be the Bennett power creep we wanted from Wika. Yeah, it's actually kind of crazy. Iansan is really strong, but let's get right into it. So, Iansan's elemental skill enters a Night Soul Blessing state and allows you to just dash forward. Obviously, if you go into it and you hold it and whatever, you're able to just sprint around and you actually run around for a very long time. You have a very unique and a very special running animation that is literally new. Like, we've never seen someone short and tiny like Chi-Chi or like Yao Yao sprint around like that as if they have somewhere to be. Instead of looking around at the mint and at the berries that they can collect, Iansan's got somewhere to go. So it's really cool to see a different animation. However, when you go ahead and dash forward, you can also use a plunging attack, which is really nice. Now, Iansan's Night Soul cap is a max of 54, and you can gain Night Soul just from sprinting around. However, you have the ability to obviously run on water and also run on lava, which is kind of cool. But let's get into what you guys really care about. The elemental burst is what is the important part of Iansan's kit. Now, that elemental burst has a 70 cost and has an 18-second cooldown. Doing the elemental burst, Iansan stomps the ground like the exact same she did in the trailer in Tevat, the story trailer. She stomps the ground as so. So yes, doing that enters the Night Soul Blessing, and Iansan gains 15 Night Soul points. What this does is summons a mark, and that will increase the active character's base attack, or the active character's attack based off of Iansan's total attack. Keep in mind, total attack. Right. And this will actually follow the active character. So we no longer have circle impact. One of the most annoying things, and one of the things that stopped people from being able to use other different buffers like Sarah or like using different characters, was simply because Bennett had circle impact. We don't have circle impact anymore with Iansan. So we have learned to evolve, and Genshin is delivering us a character that can provide an attack buff that follows the active character. Now, key note, if your Night Soul is below or at 42 Night Soul points, you will gain a weaker attack buff, and that is based off your Night Soul and attack. But if your Night Soul is above 42, you'll gain a stronger attack buff that is based off of pure attack. Yes. So, that is very clear. It makes much sense. Now you're thinking, well, how the hell do I get more Night Soul then? If I have a cap of 54, I gain 15 from just entering the state. How do I get more? The key simple is, character movement helps you maintain the buff. Yeah, you heard that right.
Baby, show me what you got. Show me what, just move. If you got to know it, just move. It's all I want to see, some movement. I'm not seeing enough movement.
Now, that means that the active character needs to be doing something or moving around and performing actions that move them around so they can do more damage as well as maintain this buff. If you're not moving, then your buff will be pretty cope. And I'm not going to lie, you should probably use Bennett at that point. But if your character is moving, voila! You're going to be loving it because you're going to be doing a lot more damage, which is awesome. Now, when we're talking about this attack buff, how is it scaling? Like, how? How is it scaling? Okay, this attack buff is based off of flat attack, not attack percent. Okay, obviously you can use attack percent on artifacts which buff up your attack, but how does it work? Compared to Bennett, Bennett's his attack buff is based off his base attacks. That is his normal base attack plus his weapon attack. That is what his buff is based off of. Iansan has their buff based on the current attack. Not base attack, but the current attack. So, if Iansan's attack has been increased, this will affect the buff. You heard that right. So that doesn't necessarily mean that it's just, oh, it's Iansan, that's it. If you get yourself artifacts or you get buffed by someone else, well, then there you are. You're going to have increased attack on Iansan, and that's going to boost your buff. Now, Iansan's attack buff is on par with Kujisara's attack buff as well. Just thank you to Reddit. And with Constellations, it will surpass Bennett's overall value of the Elemental Burst, with being amazing for its renowned attack buff for over how many years. And if you only are able to maintain the 42 Night Soul and above, yeah, it's better than Bennett. But if you can't, then, that's your problem. I'm not going to lie. You need to sort that out. But the reason why it is just so much more valuable than Bennett is because, one, Iansan is from Natlan. So that means that Iansan can actually hold the Scroll Cinder City set, which gives you elemental damage bonus and elemental boosts and just more raw damage. It's just amazing. Now, who else uses this this artifact set? I know Sitlali uses it. I know Zilanen uses it. I also know that Mavuiga can use it. I also know that Kichina can use it. There's a lot of 5 stars and 4 stars in Natlan that can use this artifact set. Now, what's important is this attack buff, it actually lasts for 12 seconds, which is, pretty much the same as Bennett's. But the difference is it is universal. It can literally follow you, and at C2, a bit of a spoiler, it actually increases the duration from 12 seconds to 15 seconds, which surpasses Bennett's value, literally. No more circle impact, you can run around, you can do your movements, you can do the damage that you need to do, and you can kill the enemies without any problems, okay? As again, how do I get myself my recovered Night Soul? Not seeing enough movement? Boom. You start moving around, you start doing damage, and you get yourself your Night Soul back. That's as simple as it can be. Now, the first passive for Iansan, it actually gives her 20% attack, and this obviously activates when using your skill and then plunge, so voila, easy, light work. Now, the only thing I will say is, there is another thing that to keep in mind, that this passive, it's kind of a bit of Natlan racism, but Natlan characters will have a bit of QOL. So, that means that they will basically help Iansan maintain Night Soul if the active character who is on field uses and consumes Night Soul. Then that means that over time, Iansan will recover Night Soul points. So we do have some Natlan racism, which is unfortunate. But yeah, it is what it is. It's Genshin. What can I say? The second passive is when triggering an electro reaction, Iansan will heal the active character based on 60% of her attack when Night Soul is recovered. And this is every 2.8 seconds. I'm be real, this ain't really a big deal. It's not really that much healing. I'm gonna be real with you. Every 2.8 seconds it's not gonna be great because majority of Natlan characters already move around, and realistically you have Zilanen, so I don't really know why you'd want to get this or want to use this, to be completely honest with you. But yeah, as of right now, Iansan looks amazing, and obviously for those who aren't aware, the buff will disappear once the Night Soul Blessing has ended. But if you maintain your Night Soul Blessing, you maintain the Night Soul point, you're chilling. It's crazy to know that the Bennett power creep is finally here. Like, finally here. But I'm all for it. I was someone who was heavily against Iansan. Then I started to grow on Iansan. And then I'm actually kind of liking Iansan. Now, having a Bennett power creep and having them as Electro and no circle impact and increased attack buff. I'm loving it. But realistically, for those who do move around a lot and do a lot of damage, as well as, having, a lot of attack speed, So there's a lot of buffs for different main DPSs and a lot of sub DPSs depending on who you want to use. But there we are, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please do consider dropping a like, subscribing to the channel if you are new, and I'll see you guys in the next one. It's been your boy. Peace out.